What up? It's Crypto Fur Iron Man, y'all. Just kidding. Anyway, coming back with a follow-up to one of my EDC videos. I talked about different types of knives for self-defense, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm not particularly fond of folding knives, you know, the kind that fold. I like fixed blades that are just one piece of metal, the handle fixed into the blade itself. And I actually experienced something that I need to tell you all. I have a little cut here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see, it's right here. I stabbed myself with a folding knife accidentally. Now, before you go, what an idiot, let me explain. I typically carry a folding knife. I did a review on one of them before, and I don't want to say the name again and the model because I still like the knife, but you have to really think about the types of things that you carry on your person when you're using it. So this is a folding knife with a spring assist, which means that when you go to unfold it, there's a spring inside that helps you unfold it and it flies open. Typically, I carry my knife in a holder on my belt. But this one day I decided to do some work and I wanted to save some time, so the knife has a clip on it. So I decided to just insert the knife and clip it to my belt like that. And what happened was I decided to jump while I was doing some work. I jumped off of a wall, and the force of my jumping off the wall and the angle of the folding knife with gravity, when I landed and stopped, the blade came out and the spring assisted it. So it was like this. And of course, after I jumped, I dropped my hands and the blade was out. So my wrist, let me do it this side. My wrist came down and actually hit the blade. And I said, what was that? Ow, what was that? And I looked and I had a deep stab wound right here on my wrist. You can't see it now because it's been a couple days already. And I did some wound care to it with some antibacterial ointment and a Band-Aid, and it's so itchy. But it made me realize that there are certain types of knives that you have to be really careful. You know, you have to figure out what's your use. If you're very active and you're out in the field and you have one of those spring-assisted blades that comes out, you jump and that blade comes out, you may end up cutting your wrist and bleeding in the field. And if you're on a tactical mission, you're for military or you're law enforcement, and you don't have that knife sheathed properly and you're not aware of those things, you can cause injury to yourself at the wrong time. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that. This is why I really don't like folding knives. In the first place, I don't really trust folding knives because something about it makes me feel like when you unfold it, it's not going to stay open. If you go to stab something, it'll close on you. And I'm always worried that when you have your hand on the handle and the blade folds in, for whatever case, you could cut your fingers off or you just cut them badly. I don't like anything that is movable on a folding knife. It's convenient because you can fold it up and carry it, and it helps you to conceal it without having the sheath, you know, and it kind of reduces the size. Because I mean, even with a 3-inch blade and a handle, you probably got like this, a 6-inch knife in total. And when you fold it up, you got a little 3-inch blade, a 3-inch knife. So that's the point of the folding. It helps you to carry it. It's different if you're talking about like a Swiss Army knife. I'm not talking about Swiss Army knives. Swiss Army knives, to me, fall under a different category of tool, like a multi-tool, where you have these handles that fold in. You have screwdrivers, saws, nail clippers, bottle openers, knives, a ruler, magnifying glass. That's a multi-tool to me. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just, it's a blade, it's a knife, and it folds. Those I never really liked. And I do own some just because, you know, it's easier to conceal, but I always keep that in mind that it's bendable and can harm you. And this really emphasized it, but it emphasized it in the reverse. I'm always worried about it closing and hurting you. This one actually opened up and hurt me. So when you're dealing with spring assisted, this is part of the reason why in California especially, California is really weird because Democrats don't like you to be able to hide things. They don't like concealed weapons. So anything that folds is actually concealing the blade in the handle. So they outlawed like switchblades and things like that. Switchblades were spring assisted. For those of you who don't know, they're blades that can go, they go into the handle this way, and when you push the button, the blade comes out this way. So by its spring assist, you can actually stab somebody just by holding the handle against them and pushing the button. The blade can shoot into the body. And so California outlawed those, and with good reason. I don't think you really need that kind of a weapon to really serve the purpose. To me, a fixed blade is fine. So just to let you guys know that when it comes to everyday carry, consider the types of knives or blades that you're going to carry. Whether a whether a folding knife or a fixed blade, and then what kind of blade. If you do fixed blade, is it going to be the kind you carry in the saber position, or is it going to be like a karambit that you carry in like a stabbing dagger position? Those are things to consider. Also, depending upon how you hold your knife will determine the range that you're fighting at. So if you're carrying it in a saber position, it's a longer range because you can reach out to stab someone. Whereas if you're carrying it in a dagger position, they're gonna have to be closer to you, because if you try to stab them this way, you're limited in your distance. So they have to be closer to you on a dagger position to cut or stab. So those are other things to consider. So just to follow up on that, and I hope you guys stay safe. Consider whatever it is you're carrying. Be efficient in your carry. Always carry a flashlight. That is a must always. And you know, I can go over some other things that you can carry for as your situations increase. But also be careful about carrying a blade depending upon where you work, because if you work in a store whose policy is that you're not allowed to bring weapons to work, they can consider any type of blade a weapon and you could get fired for it. So that's another consideration with everyday carry in terms of blades. One time I have one of these little credit card knives. It's a credit card that folds over, and it reveals a blade, and you can lock the folds into a handle. I forgot that I had it in my wallet, and I went into a court, and we have to go through the metal detectors when you go through the Superior Court, and the security guard actually found it. I was actually shocked because I totally forgot that I had it in my wallet. But he found it, and he told me, you're not supposed to have this in, you got to take it to the car. And I was like, wow, I'm actually shocked you found that. I was like, I totally forgot I had that in there. And that really raised my my faith in the security guards over at the courthouse. I told them, that's great that you found that through the x-ray machine, because most often the security guards are talking, the wallets or the purses are going through the x-ray machine, they don't even bother to look at it. So I was impressed. But those are things to take into consideration. If you're going to carry a credit card knife like that, or a blade on your waist, you may not want to do that based upon the place you're going to. All right, y'all, have fun, and I'm going to follow up with some more everyday carry videos throughout the time, or investment videos, or active shooter videos, just to kind of keep you guys up to speed. You guys take care. Have a good one.